Hello, this is wmpyr. I'm here to tackle the same question again, and it is how to beat a bigger opponent. Now, this kind of question is very popular here on YouTube, and yeah, I suppose I can understand why people are so interested in this. Now, for me, this is something that is not something I necessarily think about because it's so ingrained. It's so natural for me. For one, I'm a smaller guy. I was born small. I am, lightweight or even smaller than that. And living here in Texas, where everything is big in Texas, um, every time I went to a martial arts school to go learn and train, I was pretty much on definitely 100% on the smaller side and one of the smallest students in class always. So I had to train and work out with people that were 200 pound plus, and you're talking about someone who myself was like 150 pounds max. So yeah, I'm used to it is what I'm trying to say. I'm so used to it, and also I go by the idea of what the Zen machine Mario Sperry stated in his instructional videos, which is always expect your opponent to be as good as you are, if not better than you are. So I'm always assuming that my opponent is stronger, faster, more agile, physically superior in every way. So that's what I'm imagining. So if you take that approach, how do you go up against someone that is stronger, more powerful than you, and possibly physically more fit than you are? And for one, in the Filipino martial arts, we have to go with the four ranges of combat, because if not, then it's just too chaotic. What are you talking about? What range? What situation? It's just too many possibilities. So I like to use the four ranges of combat. And obviously, since I cannot match power with power, I have to go with skill and strategy. So that is my main focus. And so number one, in long range, that's where we'll start. In long range, it's pretty much like a game of tag, because the goal for me is to hit them but not get hit myself. So yeah, I'm gonna be in and out, running around, constantly moving, making it difficult for them to hit me. So in order for me to do that, I, for one, need to practice my footwork, which I do about, I don't do it every day, but I do it at least 3 times a week. Practice footwork. Number two is, in order to be constantly moving like that, you're going to have cardio. If you don't have cardio, you're going to be done real fast. So I also do cardio training about, 3, 4 times a week. Okay. And another thing is also super important is cardio management, or should I say energy management. All right. That's super important, because if you kind of think about it like Dragon Ball Z, even if you have a ton of energy, if you use it up hastily and you're not very good at managing that, you could be done really, really quick. All right. But if you have good managing skills, energy management, even if you don't have a tremendous amount of energy, the way you're managing, you're going to be all right. So that's also very, very important that a lot of people ignore. So another quick example I could give you is, I remember in a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class that I was taking, there was this guy that came in who had a physically incredibly fit, imagine someone that does like triathlons. Okay, so their cardio is like they could go forever, right? So they come into class and they're very confident, and went up against them, and they were done within the first 3 minutes or something like that. And they're like, man, I have cardio. I don't know what happened. Well, it's like, but this is new for you, grappling. Therefore, the way you managed your energy, you could manage your energy great in a triathlon, but managing your energy in grappling is new. So you did it completely wrong, you know? So that's all. Even though this person has a ton of cardio, because of their lack of experience here, you know, not to say that they're going to have an advantage over other people that's also starting out that don't have cardio. Of course, they're going to have a great advantage because you do need cardio, but this was about cardio management. They didn't have that ability yet. So, you know, that's all I'm trying to say, that it's important. So, the other idea to keep in mind is that if they hit me, I'm going to be in big trouble because they're more powerful. If I hit them, they're probably not going to feel anything. So then in that case, why am I hitting them? You know, it's not to do damage, because if I try to punch someone that's 250 pounds or, you know, even 220 and super fit and tough, yeah, I don't think I can knock them out. And even if I hit them as hard as I can right on the chin, they're probably just going to look at me like, yeah, you know. So it just might be the case. So the reason why I'm even hitting in long range, hitting the opponent, is to frustrate them. So to mentally defeat them. So even though I may not be doing any kind of damage to the opponent, it's going to get very old for them really, really fast if I repeatedly hit them in the face and be like, there, what you going to do about it? Bam, 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 bam. You see, that could have been in the eye, you know. Repeatedly do that, they're not going to like that. It's going to frustrate them. It's going to open opportunities for them to make a mistake and for me to, you know, to capitalize on. So that's what I'm going for, is to mentally defeat them. So now let's talk about medium range. So in medium range, you know, this is extremely important. Think about it. They have power, I don't. So in medium range, this is where we can connect each other. So they could hit me hard and I could hit them hard. That's what medium range is. Think of, this is where you're boxing, or this is where you're kickboxing, you know. All the super hard roundhouse kicks and all the super hard punches, they can all land in medium range. So that's medium range. So right here, honestly, I avoid it. I don't want to fight here at all, because if we exchange, I'm at a disadvantage. They're the ones that have the ability to knock me out, but even if I hit them hard, it may not do anything to them, and they're going to be counteracting. So yeah, this is a very bad place for me to be in, so I don't want to be in medium range. That being said, it's very, very important to understand that I train in medium range, so you should train in medium range. You don't want to fight there. You don't want to test yourself there, but you still train in it. I've been doing Muay Thai kickboxing as a hobby for a long time now. I learned it pretty much in the beginning of my martial arts career, and I've kept it to this day. Why? Because it's not that I want to see who's the better kickboxer in medium range and see if I could take out my opponent. No, it's because if I'm put in medium range, because sometimes it happens, I don't want to be there, but I'm there. And if that's the case, if I don't know how to fight in medium range, how am I supposed to fight out to get out? How am I supposed to get into close range or long range? I'm going to get finished in medium range because I don't know how to fight in medium range. So I don't want that to happen. So I make sure that I know to a certain degree how to handle myself in medium range. So this is the exact same idea for ground, okay? If you don't know how to fight on the ground and you get taken down to the ground, good luck, right? You could be finished right there. You can say anything you want, like, I don't want to fight on the ground, that's not a good place to be, and blah, 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 blah. But in a real self-defense situation, you're on the ground. What then? You could be done. You should have an idea at least, and you should have some experiences on the ground in training so that you know how to handle yourself, because if not, you're going to be done there. So same idea with medium range. So I train in medium range stuff just so that I could handle myself there. But in reality, if I could have my way, I don't want to be there. Same with the ground. If I could have my way, I don't want to be there, you know. but I'm not going to be ignorant of either. So now let's talk about close range. Okay, so in close range combat, this is where the most weapons are available. Okay, so you have all the strikes, you got takedowns, you got standing submission moves, you got throws. I mean, this is where so much can happen that it can be like a whirlwind. It could be a tornado in close range. And I definitely don't want to be caught in the tornado. So if they grab me and they could, I don't know what's going on because they're hitting me, they're shoving me, they're throwing me around. And remember, they're bigger, stronger, more powerful, so they could just pick me up and slam me, and then I could be done right there. If they drop me on my head, it could be over on concrete. So I definitely don't want that. So in order to stop that, I need to grab a hold of them. If I don't and they just grab me, once again, they just gonna pick me up and gorilla toss me or something. So I need to grab a hold, okay? Get a good grip and hold on for dear life because I don't want to be swung around in that tornado. So hold on, and then from there, I don't want to clinch fight with them. In other words, I don't want to exchange elbows, knees, uppercuts with someone that's 220 pounds or more, right? I don't want to do that because if I start to do that, it's going to turn into who's better at clinch fighting, okay? Who's better at the Muay Thai neck grabbing, or who's better at judo, who's better at wrestling. I don't want to play that game. So from there, rather than go for those kinds of moves that has the potential to knock somebody out if you're kind of like in the same weight class, but if you're not in the same weight class, it becomes much, much harder for someone like me, smaller, to knock out someone like that. So why even go for it? You know what I mean? So I'm going for much smaller moves. That's the way that I fight in the clinch. And if I have to, sure, I'll do, clinch fighting. That's why I make myself familiar with Muay Thai kickboxing, a little bit of wrestling, a little bit of judo, just enough to where hopefully I can survive and get away from that kind of fighting and make it to where it's my style of fighting, because it will be forced upon you. And when it's forced upon you, you're at a disadvantage and you better know how to survive there. So you want to be able to survive the clinch, okay? And from there, what I try to do is I try to go to their back as fast as I can. That's the way, and because I'm smaller, a lot of times it is kind of easier for me to slip through to the back against someone that's a lot bigger. And if not, I could also change levels and start to work to the side of their body at the very least. And in my own personal experiences, that was very possible, and I was able to do it. Not every time, but I was able to do that. And then from there, once again, I'm not going for the big, powerful shots. I'm going for the much smaller kind of movements, like using the Heaven Six or the angles of attack to grind on their eyes, or I could attack their groin and just do things that annoy and bother them over and over and over until I get a chance to get away. So that's definitely, because at the end of the day, it's not that I'm trying to knock them out. It's more so that I'm trying to get away. I'm trying to survive. So that's my goal, is survival, not to dominate, devastate, and knock them out. I don't have to do that. That's not a goal. And if I really wanted to do that, I don't know why I would want to do that. Yeah, because it's so hard to do something like that, especially against someone that's bigger, stronger, more powerful than you are. If I really wanted to do that, then I would change my body and I would, add 40, 60 pounds of muscle and, become like that. But it's I don't want to do that, and I don't think that's healthy for me, and that's not something that I would want to maintain either. It would take a ton of work to maintain, keep those muscles and whatnot. Yeah, I'll be powerful, but yeah, that's and genetically there's a limit for me. My frame is not big, so there's just a limitation there. And at the end of the day, if I really want to devastate someone, I use weapons, right? So that's kind of the way that I view it. I'm not interested in the sport aspect. I'm interested in the self-defense, survival in the street. So anyway, I hope this gives you guys some idea. Thank you for viewing, and take care, folks.